Hello guys, good day. Today, we will be discussing thin-walled pressure vessels and their mechanics of deformable bodies.
A pressure vessel may be cylindrical. It is either cylindrical or spherical in shape. Is a container designed to hold gases and liquids at a pressure substantially different from the ambient pressure. Examples are tin cans, water tanks, and more. A vessel is said to be thin-walled when the ratio of the thickness to the radius of the vessel is small, such that the internal stress in the material is constant throughout the thickness of the vessel. So hindi pala basta-basta na masasabi nating thin-walled pressure vessel yung ating pressure vessel. Dapat masatisfy niya na yung radius divided by its thickness or yung ratio between radius and thickness dapat greater than or equal to 10. Otherwise, a vessel that has a ratio of radius against thickness of less than 10 will not be treated as thin-walled pressure vessels anymore. Okay? Sabi natin, thin-walled pressure vessel may be cylindrical or spherical in shape. So dito muna tayo sa ating cylindrical in shape. Okay? Dito sa ating cylindrical, this is an example of thin-walled pressure vessel in cylindrical in shape. Sabi natin, pwedeng mag-fail yung ating cylinder or yung ating cylindrical pressure vessel. So kung mag-fail siya, paano yung kanyang failure? Either, pwedeng sumabog yung ating cylindrical vessel, guys, no? Sa pagganitong way. Or kung mapapansin ninyo, di ba, if this is our cross section, pwedeng mahati siya dito. Maghiwalay ito, guys, no? Naging ganyan. And this is in our longitudinal axis. Kung mapapansin niyo, mas mahaba to compared dito. So this is our longitudinal axis. So ganito 'yan. Pwedeng mag-fail yung ating material in our longitudinal axis. So this is the longitudinal axis. Okay? And yung pangalawa naman, pwede ring mag-fail or sumabog yung ating cylindrical vessel in this way. Okay? So let's say mag-pass tayo ng cutting plane dito. Ganyan din naman yung magiging failure niya kapag ganito naman yung nangyari sa ating pressure vessel. So kung ito yung ating longitudinal axis, ito naman yung tinatawag nating transverse axis. Dito muna tayo sa ating longitudinal axis. Sa ating cylindrical pressure vessel, we have two-way para mag-fail yung ating vessel, guys, no? So therefore, meron tayong dalawang type ng stress present in our cylindrical pressure vessel. So dito muna tayo sa ating longitudinal axis. We have two types of stresses in cylindrical pressure vessels. First, we have tangential stresses that is present in our longitudinal axis. Okay? Tangential stresses is sometimes called circumferential stress, girth stress, or hoop stress. So maraming pangalan si tangential stress, guys, no? Huwag kayong malilito kapag hindi nyo narinig or nabasa yung tangential stress, pero nabasa ninyo ay circumferential stress, girth stress, or hoop stress. Ang tinutukoy lang nun ay tangential stress. itong mga pressure or stresses dito sa ating cylindrical pressure vessels are normal stresses. So kung sila ay normal stresses, therefore pwede nating sabihin or yung symbol pa rin natin sa ating tangential stresses ay still sigma. Lagyan na lang natin ng subscript T to determine that is tangential stress. Okay? Sa ating longitudinal axis, ganito yung nangyari sa atin. Sabi natin na nag-fail yung ating material in our longitudinal axis and present doon yung ating tangential stress. If this is the cross-section of our cylindrical pressure vessel, let's say i-consider natin tong part na to. Nag-fail tayo ng paganyan guys, no? Naghiwalay ng ganyan. Consider natin yung left side. Okay? So ganyan yung nangyari sa ating cylindrical pressure vessel. Nag-fail siya in our longitudinal axis. Okay? Kung ganyan yung kinalabasan ng ating cylindrical pressure vessel, ibig sabihin nagkaroon ng stresses dito sa upper and lower part. So kung meron tayong stresses dyan, yan ngayon yung tinatawag nating tangential stresses. Okay? So these are the tangential stresses. Kung meron tayong tangential stresses, sabi natin, and meron tayong area na naapektuhan, and yung area na naapektuhan dito guys, ay ito. Yung shaded part na yellow. Okay? So kung meron tayong stresses and meron tayong area na naapektuhan, therefore we can produce again our force. So tawagin natin to as force T. Meron tayong force na na-produce sa taas, that is force T. Meron din tayong na-produce sa baba, that is force T as well. Okay? Sabi natin, sa isang cylindrical pressure vessel, meron tayong pressure sa loob ng tank. So yun yung tinatawag nating internal pressure. That is directed kahit saan guys, no? So i-consider natin yung horizontal component ng ating pressure or yung ating internal pressure. Kung titingnan natin yung horizontal component, that is directed pa ganito. Kung ganyan yung direction ng ating horizontal component, kung titingnan natin sa side view ng ating drawing ng ating material, di ba? Parang rectangle yung kinalabasan or yung apektuhan ng ating horizontal component ni internal pressure, and yung ating area na tinutukoy ay ito guys. Ito. Yan naman yung area na yon. So kung meron tayong internal pressure, meron tayong naapektuhan na area. So meron tayong force na madidevelop again. So tawagin natin to as force P. Okay? So this is our length L. Let's say this is the length of our cylinder. And we have, kung meron tayong thickness, pwede nating sabihin na ito yung ating inner diameter, guys. No? Kung mapapansin nyo, meron pang thickness yung ating pressure vessel. So, tatawagin natin to as inner diameter or DI. And alam din natin na yung diameter ay just twice ng ating inner radius. Right? So, this is the thickness of our vessel. T. Okay. Kung titingnan natin to, guys, summation forces lang tayo. Summation forces is equal to 0. We can say that force P, dahil pag ganun siya, may dalawa tayong force T na pag ganito. So we can say that force P is equal to twice ng T or 2T. Okay? So dito muna tayo sa P. That is caused by the internal pressure sa loob ng tank. Kung yan ay normal stress, sabi natin, pressure is equal to force divided by area. Yung force na tinutukoy natin, yun yung P. And ano naman yung area? Sabi ko, yung area na naapektuhan ng internal pressure, which is ito. Diba ito, guys, yung area na i-consider natin. This is still our length L. And ano naman yung height? Diba? This is twice ng inner radius. Okay? Ito yung area na i-consider natin. Substitute natin is equal to P divided by yung area, that is, this is not thickness, this is length L, multiplied by 2 Ri multiplied by length L. So cross multiply natin, we can say that P is equal to pressure multiplied by 2 RL. So meron na tayong P. Yung T din naman, hanapin natin yung T. Sabi natin na yung T is caused by the tangential stresses. Ito. So ano naman yung area na i-consider natin sa ating tangential stresses? Di ba ito, guys, yung shaded part na yellow. So ito yun. This is still length L. And this is the thickness of our vessel. Ito yun, guys. Okay. So tangential stress ay equal to force. Lagay ko na lang, no, force T divided by area. Substitute natin or cross multiply na natin kaagad. We can say that T is equal to tangential stress multiplied by area. Pero ano yung area? Tangential stress is yung area natin, base times height nito, length, multiplied by T. So meron na tayong value ni T. So balik tayo dito. Summation forces, we can say that P is equal to twice ng T. Substitute natin yung value ni P, which is equal to P now is pressure multiplied by 2 Ri multiplied by length L is equal to twice ng T, 2 multiplied by tangential stress multiplied by length times thickness. So makakancel yung 2. Makakancel yung length L. And ang natira na lang ay yung tangential stress at yung thickness dito. Okay? So ilipat natin yung thickness sa kabila. We can say that tangential stress is equal is equal to internal pressure, may natirang inner radius doon, inner radius divided by T. So that is now our formula in getting our tangential stress. Where small letter P is the internal pressure sa ating tank, yung ating Ri, that is the inner radius, and yung T is the vessel thickness. Okay? So yan ngayon yung formula natin in getting our tangential stress doon sa ating cylindrical pressure vessel na nag-fail doon sa ating longitudinal axis. Okay, sabi natin pwedeng mag-fail yung ating cylindrical pressure vessel in longitudinal axis at pwede rin sa ating transverse axis. So dito tayo sa ating transverse axis. Sa ating transverse axis, ang present na stress doon ay tinatawag nating longitudinal stress. Hindi ibig sabihin, huwag kayong malilito guys, kapag sa longitudinal axis ang napoproduce na stress ay tangential stress. Magkaiba yung longitudinal axis sa longitudinal stress. Okay? Dito sa ating longitudinal stress, nag-fail siya sa ating transverse axis. Kaya ito ay longitudinal stress. Paano naman nangyari yon? Sabi natin, di ba, pwedeng mag-fail dito na part. So ganito naman nangyari yan. Okay. So let's say ganito guys, no, yung ating nangyari sa ating pressure vessel. So nagkaroon ng contact pressure dito banda, nagkaroon ng pressure dito sa part na to. Kung mapapansin nyo guys, nakadirect siya, yung mga stresses natin nakadirect siya sa ating longitudinal axis. So ibig sabihin, kaya tinawag nating longitudinal stress, which is nag-fail siya sa ating transverse axis. So ito yung mga stresses. So these are the longitudinal stresses. Okay? So yung area na i-consider natin ngayon ay itong area na to. Yan, yung shaded part na yellow. Okay? So kung meron tayong na-produce dyan na stress and meron tayong naapektuhan na area again, may mapuproduce ulit tayong force. Tawagin natin to as force F. Okay, next. Meron tayong internal pressure ulit. Diba sabi natin meron tayong internal pressure sa loob ng tank. So yun yung ating small letter P. So makakapag-produce ulit tayo so pwede ring mag-fail. Ang maapektuhan din ngayon na area ay ito sa ating internal pressure caused by the internal pressure. Ito naman. So kung meron tayong internal pressure and meron tayong area na naapektuhan, so meron tayong force na madidevelop ulit. So tawagin natin to as force P. Okay? So kung meron tayong dalawang force, we can say that summation forces, force P, summation forces is equal to 0. We can say that force F is equal to force P. So hanapin muna natin yung ating force P that is caused by the internal pressure. So ano yung area na i-consider natin ngayon dito sa ating force P? So kung titingnan natin yan in our side view, ganito yon. So yung area na i-consider natin caused by the internal pressure and the force P ay ito. Yung nasa loob. Okay? So this is the diameter or twice ng inner radius. Okay, so kung kukunin natin yung area niyan, di ba ito lang yun naman, yung shaded part naman nasa loob. So we can say that area ng circle in terms of radius, that is pi r squared. Okay, so internal pressure divided by P, equal to P divided by area. Yung area na i-consider natin ay yung shaded part na nasa loob. Substitute natin. P divided by pi r squared in terms of radius na lang guys, no? Pi r squared. So cross multiply natin, we can say that force P is equal to internal pressure multiplied by pi r squared. So meron na tayong force P. Kunin naman natin yung force F. Force F is caused by our longitudinal stress. So kung titingnan din naman natin yung naapektuhang area dito sa ating longitudinal stress ay ito. Kung i-cut natin to ulit, ilatag natin, so magiging parang rectangle ulit siya. So ganito siya. So this is the thickness of our pressure vessel. Ito guys, no? That is the thickness. Ano naman yung base natin dito? Yung base natin dito, yun yung circumference ng ating circle, that is in terms of radius, that is 2 pi ri. 2 pi r. Or in terms of diameter, that is pi d. So radius na lang yung gamitin natin. Ito yung area na i-consider natin. So, longitudinal stress is equal to force F divided by area. Yung area na i-consider natin ay ito. So, substitute natin yung area F divided by base natin in terms of radius 2 pi r multiplied by thickness. Cross multiply natin, we can say that force F will now be equal to longitudinal stress multiplied by 2 pi Ri multiplied by thickness. Okay, meron na tayong force F, meron na tayong force P. So balik na tayo dito. Substitute natin yung value ni P and value ni F. So yung P or yung F muna, longitudinal stress 2 pi Ri multiplied by thickness is equal to force P, internal pressure multiplied by pi Ri squared. So makakancel yung pi, makakancel yung isang inner radius, may natirang isa. So ilipat natin tong 2t sa kabila. So longitudinal stress is equal now to internal pressure, may natirang isang inner radius doon, divided by 2t. And this will be our formula in getting our longitudinal stress sa ating cylindrical pressure vessel. Where small letter p is still our internal pressure. Ri, inner radius. And yung T is the vessel thickness. Okay? So yan ngayon yung ating formula in getting our stresses sa ating cylindrical pressure vessels. Okay? Kung mapapansin nyo guys, yung ating longitudinal stress ay may 2. Sa ating tangential ay wala. So ibig sabihin pala, yung relationship ng ating longitudinal and tangential stress ay pwede nating sabihin na kung nagkaroon lang ng 2 dito sa ating tangential stress nung kinukuha natin yung longitudinal stress, we can say that longitudinal stress is just half ng ating tangential stress. Or cross-multiply natin, we can say that tangential stress is equal to twice ng longitudinal stress. Given that equation, we can say that tangential stress is greater than longitudinal stress. Okay. Paano naman sa ating spherical pressure vessel? Sa ating spherical pressure vessel, isa lang yung way na pwede siyang mag-fail kasi anywhere or kahit anong direction, same lang din naman yung mapapalabas natin na ano guys, no? Na stress sa ating sphere, if this is our sphere. So yung sphere natin pwedeng mag-fail sa ganitong direction, ganitong direction, ganitong direction. So i-try nating i-consider yung ganitong part. Same lang din guys, no? Kasi sphere naman yan, anywhere magiging circle din lang. So nag-fail siya pa ganyan. So ganito naman nangyari sa kanya. Okay? So let's say ganyan yung pagkakahati. So we have stresses ulit dito. Ito ngayon yung tinatawag nating longitudinal stresses. And nag-occur yan dito sa part na to. Sa shaded part na yellow. Okay? So kung meron tayong na-produce na stress and meron tayong affected area, meron tayong produce na force T. Or let's say sabihin natin force F na lang. And meron ulit, di ba, meron tayong internal pressure sa loob ng ating pressure vessel. So meron ulit tayong mapuproduce na force caused by our internal pressure. So meron tayong internal pressure. So tawagin natin to as force P ulit. Okay. So summation forces ulit, we can say that force P is equal to force F. Force F is equal to force P. So dito muna tayo sa force F that is caused by the longitudinal stress. So parang ganun lang sa ating longitudinal stress sa ating cylindrical pressure vessel. Mag-cut ulit tayo dito, ilatag natin 'yan. Magiging ganito yung itsura niya. Diba meron pa rin tayong thickness? May thickness pa rin tayo. Yun. So that is the thickness of our area of our sphere. Yung base niya ngayon, that is the circumference of our circle. That is 2 pi in a radius. Okay? So yung area na i-consider natin sa ating longitudinal stress ay ito ulit. Sabi natin, longitudinal stress is equal to force F divided by area. Substitute natin yung area. That is 2 pi inner radius multiplied by thickness. So cross-multiply natin, longitudinal stress is equal now to cross-multiply natin, we can say that F is equal now to longitudinal stress multiplied by 2 pi Ri times thickness. Okay, so meron na tayong force F. Ano naman yung force P natin? Just like in our cylinder, ganun din guys, no? Ito pa rin yung area na i-consider natin. Yung inner area. itong area na to. Okay, so force P that is caused by the internal pressure. Internal pressure is equal now to force P divided by area. Substitute natin yung area. Pi R squared na lang guys, no? So force P will now be equal to pressure multiplied by pi Ri squared. Okay, meron na tayong force F, meron na tayong force P. Then we can now substitute that in our F is equal to P. So yung F natin ay longitudinal stress multiplied by 2 pi Ri multiplied by thickness. Then yung P natin ngayon ay internal pressure multiplied by pi multiplied by Ri squared. Mapapansin ninyo, cancelled yung pi, cancelled yung isang inner radius, may natirang isa dito. So yung formula natin, longitudinal stress, so ilipat natin yung 2t sa kabila, meron tayong formula na longitudinal stress is equal now to internal pressure multiplied by inner radius divided by 2t. And that will be our formula in terms of longitudinal stress sa ating spherical pressure vessel. So mapapansin nyo, same lang yung formula natin dito sa ating longitudinal stress in terms of cylindrical pressure vessel. Okay, this is still pre-2T, where P is the internal pressure and yung Ri, that is the inner radius, and yung T is the vessel thickness. Okay? So, i-apply na natin yan ngayon sa ating formula, sa ating problem. For our first problem, a cylindrical steel pressure vessel has hemispherical end caps. The inner radius of the vessel is 24 inches and the wall thickness is constant at 0.25 inch. When the vessel is pressurized to 125 PSI or pound per square inches, determine the stresses in the cylinder. So pinapahanap yung stresses dito sa ating cylindrical pressure vessel. Sabi natin kanina sa cylindrical pressure vessel, dalawa yung present na stresses natin doon, namely tangential stress and longitudinal stress. And sabi din natin kanina na yung longitudinal stress ay just half ng ating tangential stress. So therefore, pwede na lang nating isolve yung ating tangential stress and later on, i-divide natin sa 2, makukuha na natin yung ating longitudinal stress. Okay? So kunin natin ngayon yung ating tangential stress. Sabi natin, tangential stress is equal to pre-T. Pre-T. Okay? So ilagay natin yung given natin. Meron tayong inner radius which is equal to 24 inches. Yung wall thickness that is 0.25 inch. And yung ating pressure or internal pressure that is equal to 125 PSI. Pinapahanap yung tangential and longitudinal stress. So kunin muna natin yung ating tangential stress and later on i-divide natin yan sa 2 to get our longitudinal stress. Substitute natin internal pressure that is 125 PSI. Yung ating inner radius that is 24 inches. And yung ating thickness that is 0.25 inch. Okay? And therefore, our tangential stress will now be equal to, cancel yung inches, and this is now our answer. Okay? Sabi natin kanina, longitudinal stress ay just half ng ating tangential stress. So kunin na lang natin to. Substitute na lang natin yung ating tangential stress. So tangential stress ay 12,000 divided by 2. Therefore, our longitudinal stress will now be equal to 6,000. So ganyan lang kadali. Longitudinal stress ay 6,000 PSI. Another example tayo. The scuba tank has a cylindrical body and the spherical end cap, each of 7.5 inches outer diameter. The wall thickness of the tank is 0.5 inch. The tank is made of an aluminum alloy which has an ultimate tensile strength of 56 kilopound per square inches. Determine the factor of safety against bursting when the tank is pressurized to 3,000 psi. Ang pinapahanap sa atin ay yung factor of safety. Okay? Para mahanap natin yung factor of safety, meron tayong given formula dito na ultimate strength or ultimate stress divided by maximum actual stress. Yung ultimate strength natin, meron na tayong given dito, ultimate tensile strength, that is 56 KSI. So na-determine na yan, nagdaan na yan through different laboratory tests. Kaya masasabi natin, or wala na tayong magagawa dyan, that is the strength of our scuba tank. Paano naman natin makukuha yung ating maximum actual? Sabi natin kanina na yung tangential stress ay mas malaki kesa sa longitudinal stress. Okay? So therefore, kung mas malaki pala yung ating tangential stress, ibig sabihin, dyan makaka-experience ng maximum stresses sa ating scuba tank. So kung dyan magkakaroon ng maximum stresses, so therefore, gamitin na lang natin kaagad yung ating tangential stress and later on, yun na yung gagamitin natin as our maximum actual stresses. Okay? So, kailangan lang natin pala malaman kung ano yung ating tangential stress kasi given naman na yung ating ultimate strength. Okay guys, itong ating factor of safety, hindi lang stress ito guys, no? Pwede ring ultimate shear stress divided by maximum actual ng shear stress. Pwede rin ganyan guys, no? Basta yung factor of safety natin ay always equal to ultimate divided by maximum actual. Okay? So dito na tayo, kunin na natin yung ating maximum actual stress or yung ating tangential stress. But before that, kailangan muna nating malaman kung ano yung magagamitin natin sa ating formula. Sabi sa atin, meron tayong 7.5 outer diameter. Okay? So meron daw tayong 7.5 outer diameter. So ito yung outer diameter natin. Tawagin natin to as outer diameter which is equal to 7.5 inches. And meron tayong wall thickness na 0.5. So ito yan. .5 inch, 0.5 inch. Okay? So ang kailangan natin ngayon ay malaman kung ano yung ating inner radius. Okay? Para makuha natin ngayon yung inner radius, pwede ko bang sabihin na outer diameter minus ko lang yung dalawang thickness which is from left and right, makukuha na natin yung inner diameter. Ang kailangan natin, inner radius, sabi natin na yung diameter ay just twice ng ating inner radius. So therefore, para makuha natin yung ating inner radius, i-divide lang natin sa 2 yung ating inner diameter. So para makuha yung inner diameter, 7.5 minus twice ng 0.5. Okay? Or let's say, para makuha natin yung inner radius, pwede nating sabihin na 7.5 minus twice ng 0.5 divided by 2. Or inner radius will now be equal to 3.25 inches. Okay? So meron na tayong formula for value for inner radius. Okay? So for our tangential stress, sabi natin pretty. Okay? So meron na tayong internal pressure which is equal to 3,000 psi. Meron na tayong inner radius, meron na rin tayong wall thickness. So substitute na lang natin. That is 3,000 psi. Yung inner radius natin, that is 3.25 inches. and yung wall thickness natin which is equal to 0.5 inch. So makakancel yung inches and therefore our tangential stress will now be equal to 19,500 PSI. Okay? Sabi natin na tangential stress nakaka-experience ng maximum stresses and therefore this will be our maximum actual stress. Kung meron na tayong maximum actual, meron na rin tayong ultimate and therefore we can now compute for our factor of safety. Guys, para masabi natin na yung scuba tank or yung isang material natin or in general, para masabi natin na yung body or yung material natin ay safe, dapat yung factor of safety natin should be greater than 1. Okay? Para masabi nating safe tayo. Less than 1, ibig sabihin mag-fail na yung ating material. Kapag nag-equal to 1, we are endangered na. So, konti na lang mag-fail na. So, dapat ang goal natin, mapalabas natin na yung factor of safety should be greater than 1 para masabi natin na safe yung ating scuba tank. Okay, so isolve natin yung ating factor of safety. Factor of safety is equal to ultimate divided by maximum actual. Pero guys, yung given natin for ultimate tensile strength ay in terms of KSI. So that is in kilopound per square inches. And yung ating maximum actual is in terms of pound per square inches. Alam natin na in 1 kilopound, there are 1,000 pound. So pwede nating i-consider or pwede nating i-convert yung KSI into PSI by multiplying 1,000 or pwede ring PSI into KSI. Okay? So, i-convert natin yung KSI into PSI. So, 56 KSI in terms of pound per square inches, i-times lang natin sa 1,000 so that will be equal to 56,000 PSI na. Divided by 19,500 PSI. So makakancel yung PSI and therefore our factor of safety will now be equal to. So later on, kapag tinanong ko kayo sa problem, determine whether the material is safe or not safe, just find yung ating factor of safety and compare that to 1. Kung greater than 1, that is safe. Kung less than 1, we are not safe. Okay? Another example for our pressure vessel, a water tank that is 8 meters in diameter and 12 meters high. If the tank is to be completely filled with water, determine the minimum thickness of the tank planting if the stress is limited to 40 megapascal. Okay? So meron tayo ditong 8 meters in diameter. We do not know if that is inner diameter or outer diameter. If that's the case, guys, so kung hindi sinabi whether that is inner or that is outer diameter, so always assume na yung given ay inner diameter. Okay? So ganito yung nangyari sa atin. Meron daw tayong water tank that is 8 meters inner diameter and 12 meters high. Okay? So yan yung ating water tank. Meron daw tayong inner diameter which is equal to 8 meters. Hindi sinabi guys, no? Either inner or outer. Always assume that is inner diameter, 8 meters. Okay? So meron tayong thickness dito. So ang dinidesign daw natin ay kailangan nating malaman yung minimum thickness. T. That is 12 meters high. And meron tayong limited stress or the working stress that is equal to 40 megapascal, or that is also maximum stress that is 40 megapascal. Okay, i-design daw natin yung tank or kailangan nating malaman kung ano yung pinakamanipis na thickness na pwedeng i-cater or pwedeng maging property ng ating tank, which is safe pa rin tayo, guys. Okay, kapag nagdi-design tayo or kapag dinidetermine natin yung minimum thickness, ibig sabihin, kailangan pala nating malaman, di ba yung formula natin is stress divided by P over area. And dito yung ating minimum thickness, ibig sabihin, kailangan pala nating malaman yung maximum stress and therefore maximum din yung ating gagamitin dito sa forces as, sorry, this is ano pala. Yung formula natin, either tangential or longitudinal, that is pre-T, di ba? Ito. Kung ito dapat, whether tangential or longitudinal, guys, no? Kung ito ay maximum, therefore, minimum yung mapapalabas natin dito. So tama nga, meron na tayong maximum limited stress which is 40 megapascal. Dapat din pala yung pressure natin or yung internal pressure natin para uniform yung ating given, kung ultimate, kung maximum ito, dapat maximum din ito yung pressure natin. So paano natin malalaman kung ano yung maximum pressure dito sa ating tank? Okay, guys? To tell you, the maximum pressure ay matatagpuan is to be found sa pinakamababang parte ng ating tank. So nandito sa bottom, yung ating maximum pressure. Okay? So paano nangyari yun? Let's say for example, kayo ay nag-swimming sa dagat, guys. Now, as you go deeper and deeper, you will experience na parang sumasakit yung tenga ninyo, and as you go deeper and deeper, parang sumasakit na talaga yung tenga ninyo. Ibig sabihin, nakaka-experience kayo ng mas mataas na pressure as you go deeper kapag kayo ay nagsiswimming. So tama nga, guys, no? Kung mapapansin nyo, yung mga scuba diver, nagkakaroon sila or gumagamit sila ng mga apparatus to protect their ear or yung kanilang eardrum, kasi nga habang sila ay lumalalim ng lumalalim, nakaka-experience sila ng mataas na pressure and pwedeng masira yung kanilang eardrum. Kaya nga gumagamit sila ng apparatus. So therefore, dito sa ating water tank, kung i-consider natin yung maximum pressure natin ay matatagpuan sa pinakamababang parte ng ating tank. Okay? So yun. So para makuha natin yung pressure, meron tayong formula. I will give you formula para mahanap yung ating pressure. That is pressure is equal to unit weight ng liquid, unit weight or specific weight ng liquid multiplied by height. Okay? So yan yung ating formula for pressure. Okay? Unit weight ng liquid, kung ano yung present dito, and yung height ay always measured from the liquid surface. Okay, kung i-consider natin yung maximum pressure dito, maximum pressure ay equal to unit weight ng kung ano yung liquid dito, that is unit weight ng water, kasi water nga yung laman ng ating tank. And ano naman yung height na i-consider natin? Yung height ay always measured from the liquid surface. Sabi natin na yung tank ay completely filled. So andito ngayon yung liquid surface natin papunta dito. So yung height na i-consider natin ay 12 meters. What if, tinanong ko sa inyo, what is the maximum pressure kung meron tayong tank na hindi completely filled. So this is our H, this is our small h. Pinapahanap sa atin yung maximum pressure. Maximum pressure is unit weight multiplied by H. Unit weight is kung ano yung liquid dito. And yung height na i-consider natin, sabi natin, always measured from our liquid surface. Therefore, hindi natin i-consider yung H kasi wala namang liquid dyan. Kaya ang i-consider natin ay mag-start tayo dito sa bandang liquid surface papunta sa pinakamababang parte na i-consider natin. So that is H, small letter H, hindi big letter H. Okay, so that is our formula for pressure. Okay, so ilagay natin dito, sabi nga natin, that is maximum pressure sa tank ay equal to unit weight ng water na multiplied by H. So i-box ko lang to dahil this is an additional formula. Magagamit nyo rin to sa inyong fluid mechanics or sa inyong hydraulics. Okay, meron tayong unit weight ng water. Paano natin malalaman kung ano yung unit weight ng water? I will give you constant or equivalent value for unit weight ng water which you are going to use even sa inyong board examination. So, for our unit weight ng water, that is equal to 9.81 kilonewton per cubic meter. That is in terms of System International. Kapag sa English system naman, unit weight ng water is equal to 62.4 pound per cubic foot. That is in terms of English system. Okay? So dahil in terms of in terms of SI tayo kasi yung magamit natin ay in terms of meters and Newton and megapascal, Newton, that is in System International, okay? So kung System International yung ginagamit natin or SI, so gamitin natin na value ni unit weight ng water that is equal to 9.81 kilonewton per cubic meter. So kunin natin yung ating maximum pressure. So maximum pressure, that is unit weight ng water, 9.81 kilonewton per cubic meter. And yung height na i-consider natin ngayon ay 12 meters. Okay? So cancel yung isang meter, so may natirang dalawa na lang dito, guys, na. So may natirang dalawa diyan. Okay. So therefore, our maximum pressure will now be equal to 117.72 kilonewton per square meter. So this is actually kilopascal. Okay? Pero ang gusto natin in terms of megapascal para uniform yung ating unit. So i-convert natin tong kilopascal into megapascal. So 117.72 kilonewton per square meter. Sabi natin in 1 kilonewton there are 1,000 newtons. And in 1 meter there are, guys, kung nasa taas kung nasa numerator yung kailangan nating i-cancel, dapat yung i-multiply natin nasa denominator siya para ma-cancel sila, guys. No? So in 1 meter, there are 1,000 millimeters. So dahil naka-square to, i-square din natin to. So makakancel yung kilonewton, makakancel na rin yung square meter, magiging square millimeter. So ang matitira na lang ay Newton per square millimeter. And therefore, our maximum pressure in terms of megapascal ay equal to, that will be equal to 0.11772 megapascal or Newton per square millimeter or megapascal. Okay? Meron na tayong maximum pressure. Okay? Sabi natin na yung tank ay nakaka-experience ng tangential and longitudinal stress and therefore sa ating tangential may maibibigay siyang thickness and sa longitudinal meron din siyang pwedeng ibigay na thickness. Okay? So okay, so wala pala. Dito kailangan nating malaman kung ano yung ibibigay na thickness ni tangential stress and yung ibibigay din ni longitudinal stress na thickness and therefore kung ano yung mag-govern doon, yun yung pipiliin natin as our minimum thickness. Okay? So kunin natin yung ating thickness given by tangential and longitudinal stress. So yung ating 40 megapascal, substitute natin sa tangential and longitudinal. Maibibigay silang thickness na dalawa. Okay? So dito muna tayo sa ating tangential stress. So, equate natin na yung tangential stress natin ay equal to 40 megapascal. Formula natin for tangential stress, pretty. Substitute natin yung given natin, 40 megapascal. And yung maximum pressure natin, 0.11772 megapascal. 0.11772 megapascal. And yung inner radius natin, meron tayong inner diameter dito guys. Sabi natin na inner diameter ay twice ng ating inner radius. So para makuha natin yung inner radius, 8 divided by 2 or 4 meters. In terms of millimeters, magiging 4,000 millimeters na yung ating inner radius. 4,000 millimeters. Okay, divided by thickness. Cancel yung MPa, so meron tayong value na T in terms of tangential stress will now be equal to 11.772. So kung meron tayong 11.772 millimeters, ibig sabihin sa ating tangential stress, ang pinakamanipis na thickness na kaya niyang i-cater ay hanggang 11.772 na lang. Mas mababa ba dyan, mag-fail na yung ating material in terms of tangential stress and ayaw nating mangyari yon. So dapat hindi na tayo bababa sa 11.772. Consider naman natin yung ating longitudinal stress. So for our longitudinal stress, i-equate ulit natin na yung longitudinal stress ay equal to 40 megapascal. Formula natin for longitudinal stress ay pre-2T. Substitute natin 40 MPa. Yung ating internal pressure or maximum pressure is 0.11772 MPa. And yung inner radius natin ay 4,000 millimeters, I should say, divided by 2T. So cancel yung MPa. So T will now be equal to 5.886 millimeters. Okay. Sa ating longitudinal stress, ang pinakamanipis pa lang kaya niyang i-cater ay hanggang 5.886. Mas mababa pa sa 5.886, bibigay na yung ating tank sa ating longitudinal stress. Okay? Or doon sa ating transverse axis. Pero, kung i-consider natin as a whole, kasi iisang material lang naman ito, dapat kailangan nating mamili kung ano yung ating minimum thickness. Sabi natin kanina sa tangential stress, ito yung kanyang minimum thickness. Kung pipiliin natin tong 5.886 as our minimum thickness, safe tayo sa longitudinal stress. Kaso, mas mababa tayo sa tangential stress. And sabi natin hanggang 11.772 na lang yung kakayahan ni tangential stress. Ibig sabihin kapag pinili natin tong 5.886, bibigay na tayo sa ating tangential stress and therefore ayaw nating mangyari yon, kaya hindi natin pipiliin yung 5.886 and therefore our minimum thickness will now be equal to 11.772 kasi safe siya sa tangential stress as well as safe pa rin tayo sa longitudinal stress kasi hindi pa natin namimit yung pinakamanipis na thickness ni longitudinal stress. Therefore, our minimum thickness will now be equal to 11.772 millimeters. And this will be our answer. Okay? So yan na ngayon yung ating sagot. Kung mapapansin nyo guys, kung maalala nyo yung logic natin from our discussion, from our previous discussions, kung ang pinipili natin ay minimum or kung ang pinipili natin ay maximum, ang hinahanap natin, kung ang hinahanap natin ay maximum, di ba ang pinipili natin ay least value? Okay? So therefore, kung ang pipiliin naman natin ay maximum or minimum, minimum, kung ang hinahanap natin ay minimum value, ang pipiliin natin ngayon ay the greater value. Okay? Tama nga naman, no? Kasi ang hinahanap natin ay minimum. Pero kung i-compare natin to sa kabila, sa dalawang thickness, ang pinili natin ay yung mas malaki, yung greater value. Okay, so mamaya, later on, kung ang pinapahanap sa atin ay maximum value, so piliin na lang para natin yung ating least value without any explanation. Kasi nga, napatunayan natin na kapag maximum ang tinatanong, least yung nag-govern. And kapag minimum naman yung tinatanong, greater value yung nag-govern. Okay? So maintindihan niyo na guys, no? Later on, gamitan na lang natin ng logic. Okay, so that is the last example in terms of thin-walled pressure vessels.